I've got burger juice on my bare foot.
That's disgusting.
You're vegan, you wouldn't get it.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, I'm Rosie and that's my wife Rose. Today we're going to be talking about our relationship. We're actually married, but we're just going to be talking about our relationship in general. Has YouTube affected our relationship? And I think it's quite an interesting one because as people know that some of the lesbian YouTubers have broken up, some of the lesbian...
What?
There was also that couple who I think are called Boy versus Girl who quite famously broke up and said, oh, it's the pressure of vlogging. I checked out their channel and they're back together. Yay! Vlogging every day.
Right.
Tell me about it.
I don't do it. Personally, I think that, number one, it's quite intrusive in a sense. Yeah, you're letting people like see your life, you're sharing everything, your journey, so to speak, with your audience, which is lovely. But also, it doesn't give you a lot of time off of camera to
have sex.
Well, that's one of the things. But also to just do you.
Yeah.
You know? Not everything needs to be interrupted, first of all, but shared. I think there needs to be a clear distinction, Rosie, between what you decide to put on the internet and also what you do in your personal time. Now, the good thing about our channel is everything that we put out there is genuinely conversations that we'd normally have off of camera.
Yeah.
But I still, even though that being said, I still don't want to have every conversation that is natural on camera. Because I feel like
there's some conversations
need to be discussed off of camera.
Yeah, I agree.
Like your breath.
When we were at VidCon on the LGBT panel, we were talking about boundaries and what you do and don't share. By the way, if you can hear noise in the background, it's the dog eating. And we said we don't really have boundaries of what we share, and we don't. We never said, oh, I will discuss this and I won't discuss this.
I don't have boundaries, but that doesn't mean to say that I want to have every conversation with you on camera.
I can have a best friend, right? But if you see them every single day, you're gonna fall out, you're gonna get annoyed with each other. You can't spend too much time together, even though we somehow manage to do it, but whatever. But occasionally, we don't argue, but you're gonna get a little bit pissy with someone if you see them every day. And in that sense, I think with the daily vlogging, it's like having an audience with you all the time, so I think you need a break. Yeah, one thing I will say is from doing YouTube, we have built up obviously an audience, and then the audience, you guys, come across and you're on our Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram.
Really annoying.
One thing that has changed is that I used to not care about what I tweeted. I don't really care too much now, but it's very different tweeting something and a few of your friends replying, and then tweeting something to an audience. And it's quite overwhelming having so many different responses. And like, I don't know, I guess...
Yeah, you can't be as homophobic as you'd like.
And then it's quite overwhelming to read all these different opinions, and then it makes you think, what's my opinion now? Because so many viewers said all different things, and do you think it's like weakens your personality because so many people are saying different things about you and to you on the internet?
My personality can't be touched. But in terms of that affecting our relationship, I think that sometimes if I'm arguing with someone on Twitter, which is rare, but it happens, then maybe I'll be like really angry and maybe we won't have a very good day because I'll be worked up.
Another thing that I think is difficult being on the internet is because we're two women in a relationship, I think we get compared against each other, like pitted against each other.
When it's not really a comparison.
Right, whereas...
There's no contest.
I feel like if we were a man and a woman, that wouldn't happen.
No.
And for some reason, I've never been able to fathom why.
Fathom?
Yeah, fathom.
You said
fathom.
Crazy. You said fathom? What the fuck is fathom? Fathom. Wait, why can't you say TH?
I can't. I say fun.
What did you say?
Fun.
Babe, I did not marry that. That's not what I married.
Yeah, you did. Women are more than looks. We've come a long way since like the 40s when we were just like pretty housewives who baked. So it's like, why in this day and age when we're trying to be educated, we're trying to get equality, you know, we're trying to like, you know, really change the world. So then it's like, why are you like, that one's prettier? It's like, oh my god, we're more than looks. Like you don't want men to judge you on looks.
We're more than truth also.
What?
I can sit here and troll this conversation because I naturally like to do that.
Yeah,
Grace has got a point.
Yeah.
Just because we're together and we're a same-sex couple and we're both absolutely stunning,
it wouldn't happen if
doesn't mean that we need to be compared to each other.
Yeah.
It causes stress and pressures on my relationship. Not.
But I think we're lucky that we're somehow not too sensitive to that, because I guess it depends on personalities, but I think that could be a real pressure.
I think that if you're going to put yourself on the internet, whether it's alone or as a couple, you've got to have a slightly thicker skin than anybody else.
Yeah.
And over the years, I have developed quite thick skin. Not in like a clinical way where I need to get it treated or anything, but in a way that, you know, it's like boy flip. You say something bad to me, yeah, it might get to me a little bit, but tomorrow I'm going to forget it. Do you know what I mean? But it's harder when your main competition is your wife. Yeah. But only you create that.
Yeah. We're not in a competition with one another.
No, we already won.
Here's something that annoys me about being online, that pressure that may affect us online.
Bandwidth.
I definitely think that if we were doing it every day, there is less time in the day. You're right, it's just, maybe it's not the audience, maybe it's not the vlogging every day, but maybe it's the equivalent of having a long-houred, high-pressure job.
There could be a problem if YouTube ever became unfun to do, because first of all, you guys would be able to tell from our videos that we weren't enjoying it. Yeah. And I think that would, in itself, would put pressure on our relationship, because if we didn't like what we did, but we had to do it to make money, then...
But the question is there such a word as unfun?
Of course there is.
Do you mean not fun?
Unfun.
I don't think that's a word.
Not hyphenated. Yeah, it's an English word. It's American British.
Does that mean the word un is a word? If it's not hyphenated, that means un's a word? Yeah, you're breaking the rules. Don't try and trick me. I'm good at English, it's the only thing I've got. Even though I can't say fathom.
What's our biggest YouTube related argument been about?
Don't think we've ever had one. I'll tell you one way in that YouTube makes us argue.
Go on.
This actually makes me feel great. Sometimes our gaming equipment doesn't work when we're about to film, and Rose gets really angry really quickly about things like technology, because
I get 1 to 100.
I get it. In Rose's mind, Rose is like, technology should work, right? Like, press a button on, press a button off, like why? It's just simple technology. Either it works or it doesn't. And sometimes it'll like, for some reason, our game capture software, like, I don't know, doesn't work. Yeah. Rose gets really irate. He's like, fuck's sake,
you don't want to see me have a technology-related issue. I feel like because we got married for the right reasons, we've been together for a long time, we started YouTube before it was a thing. Like, well, obviously it was a thing.
We weren't trying to be YouTube famous.
Right, we weren't trying to be YouTube famous or internet celebrities. Obviously, that has manifested in itself, because that's our destiny.
Obviously, we're A-list now.
I just feel like because we started YouTube for the right reasons, number one, we started dating for the right reasons, number two, nothing is fake, because I feel like if something is fake or maybe even just exaggerated for
staged,
YouTube or stage, that is just an early grave in terms of your relationship and a career.
Well, it depends if you can act, and I'm not saying we can't act, I would love to do something scripted, but everything is genuine.
Anything that's like disingenuous and not authentic, I feel like has a very limited shelf life.
Yeah, because there's only so long you can fake it.
But no, I mean, we're not faking anything. The only thing we're faking is the fact that we're sisters. But yeah.
That's weird.
Like we're married. I don't know why.
See, this is why we're good on camera, because you can slap me and I'm gonna laugh about it. YouTube may have made our relationship stronger, or our relationship might have just grown, naturally blossomed. And then as we were doing that, we were also YouTubing from day one, so that's grown. So maybe it hasn't affected our relationship, because it wasn't like we're in a relationship and then suddenly we turn the cameras on our lives and had to cope with that. We've actually, and it was good almost, because when our relationship was small and growing and developing, our audience was small and growing and developing. And now we're married and we have a bigger audience, but it's like, we're obviously married because we can cope with our relationship, the ups and downs. That's why we got married. We're in it for the long haul.
Guys, we're just like you. We're human beings. But
we're not poor.
Exactly. We're not poor. We dress better. But I just want to say that we have our bad days too. Yeah. How much of that can I blame on YouTube? Probably none of it. Yeah. Because we go through normal human being type feelings.
Yeah, we're gonna have a bad. We can't go through life. Like, I'm a positive person, but I can't be happy 24/7. Like, that's so unrealistic.
So we do have negative emotions, just like I'm sure you do. So we're very real.
We just have less than you because we have a great job.
Well, the money makes it easier.
Yeah.
So when we feel bad, we'll just go blow a few thousand.
Yeah.
When you feel
spend
bad,
that dollar.
When you feel bad,
you can't make it rain.
You're gonna blow your nose. That's what you're gonna blow.
That's what you're gonna blow.
Do you know what really annoys me? When you have a go at me for making the barrier between us in bed with the duvet.
Rose makes a barrier.
I don't mean to do it, but I'm comfy. If I make the barrier, then I roll on. I have to have one leg in and one leg out. I'm that kind of girl. No, it's not a barrier. It's just my comfort procedure, and you take it so personally. Like, oh my god, you're making a barrier between us. I'm like married. Touch me. Even though it's like 30 degrees outside and your hot, sweaty, naked body is on mine, I'm like, I'm dying.
Yeah, but the question is, how angry are you genuinely about this?
Not angry.
Right, let out.
Just trying to make an argument here.
Exactly.
Okay, something I need to talk about in this video is the fact that a lot of comments had said, oh Rose, you don't kiss Rosie as much anymore in videos. Let me tell you why. So I went through this phase of really worrying that anything overly sexual was going to drive views and traffic to the channel, but I didn't want views and
because
I didn't want it for those reasons, so I actively stopped kissing Rosie for several months. Even
though you would naturally kiss me, we were never kissing because it's forced. We were actually used to sometimes you humped me and shit on camera, but you were look, I don't want to get views because of that. We're trying to be entertaining.
So I went through this phase of worrying that every time I naturally kissed Rosie, which was completely genuine,
people thought it was fake
as fake or clickbait or anything like that, which I can understand.
But then I made you realise that actually the most unnatural thing and most fake thing is to not kiss me when you wanted to.
It's just not kiss me.
Yeah. So I was like, look, if you want to kiss me, kiss me. If you don't, don't. But don't actively not touching your wife.
Right.
It's just as bad as kissing me just for views. They're both just as bad. Just being natural. And Rose was like, yeah, that's what we're all about.
So now I don't really give much of a shit because I just think, yeah, okay, if I kiss her, I kiss her. If I don't, I don't. If I use a slightly kissy thumbnail,
so what? If
I
we're
will.
Kissing in the video,
that's not clickbait.
Right.
Because if I kiss in the video and I kiss in the thumbnail, that's exactly what it says in the tin. So that's why I didn't kiss Rosie for a while, but now we're back to being completely genuine because I thought, what better thing to do to promote a genuine relationship than to be genuine and kiss Rosie whenever I want to kiss Rosie.
That's what we want to show our audience. This is our natural relationship.
So yeah, it did affect our relationship for a while, me being very, very sensitive about what might drive views or what might not. But now, who cares? We're just gonna keep doing us, and there you go. So all in all, guys, I don't really feel like YouTube has negatively affected our relationship. If anything, it makes it stronger. It's good because we started at the right time. You guys have grown up with our relationship, so everything you see has been authentic and real. And I feel like you guys actually give us strength to pull through any issue that we might have because you guys ship it so much, and it makes me ship myself.
So the moral of the story is, I don't think YouTube's affected our relationship in any way. I think we are not overly sensitive, and if anything comes our way, I think we get past it.
If anything, it's affected us positively.
Yeah.
Like, comment, subscribe. See you in the comments below. Take care, guys.